Hey, it's Jim. One more reminder about CDW Canada's Tech Talks. If you're passionate about technology and innovation, check it out. It's hosted by KJ Burke, an industry expert. He dives into the latest trends, insights, and strategies shaping the tech landscape in Canada. From hybrid cloud to AI adoption, CDW Canada Tech Talks covers it all. Don't miss out. Visit cdw.ca/tech talks to tune in today. And if you want to find out more about KJ, he's actually my guest this week on our weekend show. Check it out. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. OpenAI raises $6.6 billion in a funding round despite concerns about its shift to a for-profit model and whether it will ever turn a profit. NVIDIA drops a bombshell with a new open source model, and Google is back with visual search. Will they get it right this time? Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. OpenAI's record-breaking $6.6 billion funding round and the financial hurdles that lie ahead as the company shifts towards a for-profit model amazed people this week. OpenAI has secured the largest venture capital deal ever, raising $6.6 billion and valuing the company at an astonishing $157 billion. The funding was led by Thrive Capital and included heavyweights like Microsoft, NVIDIA, SoftBank, and others, but notably, Apple was absent from the investor list despite previous talks. This massive investment comes as OpenAI transitions from a non-profit lab to a product-focused for-profit enterprise. Investors have the option to withdraw their funding if this shift isn't completed within 2 years. OpenAI stated, "The new funding will allow us to double down on our leadership and frontier AI research." However, the company is facing soaring costs. Training new AI models demands immense computing power and energy, with expenses potentially hitting $3 billion this year. Operating services like ChatGPT adds another layer of costs, nearing $4 billion, especially as user numbers have reportedly skyrocketed to as many as 350 million monthly users in June. Despite expecting $3.7 billion in revenue this year, OpenAI is projected to lose $5 billion, highlighting the financial challenges of leading this AI revolution. The company also faces internal strains. CTO Mira Murati and 2 top researchers recently departed amidst reports of culture clashes between product development and safety teams. And I'm not vouching for the accuracy of this report, but I read a very lengthy and what looked like a very thorough analysis of why OpenAI will never make a profit. Chief among this was the idea that AI isn't scalable. The report predicts that OpenAI will make major increases in how much it charges, but even that won't be enough. Every new user adds to the processing costs with no economy of scale, and every power user loses them far more than the $20 to $40 that OpenAI is charging. I'll put a link to that report in the show notes. Again, I have not validated it. I read it though, and it made a lot of sense. Probably worth looking at. With all of that, with recent departures and with investors who are going to be looking for returns, OpenAI has a lot of challenges. And they just got 2 more. NVIDIA dropped a bombshell into the AI world today when it unveiled NVLM 1.0, an open source AI model that reports say rivals industry leaders like OpenAI's GPT-4. Despite these claims, the flagship model, NVLM D72B, boasts 72 billion parameters versus GPT-4's 1.8 trillion parameters. Most of the notes say that the processing power of a model is not its parameters alone, but this is a big difference in size. And despite this, and I put in quotes, compact size of NVIDIA's model, it's reported to excel in vision and language tasks as well as complex math. In short, some of the key elements that were making OpenAI's recent model launches real breakthroughs in AI. Also remarkable is NVIDIA's decision to not only make it open source, but to make the model weights publicly available and to release the training code. This breaks from the norm of keeping advanced AI systems closed, granting researchers and developers unprecedented access to cutting-edge technology. An NVLM D72B, isn't that a romantic name? It isn't just powerful, it's versatile. It can interpret memes, analyze complex images, and solve mathematical problems step by step. The researchers highlighted our NVLM D1.072B demonstrates significant improvements over its text backbone on text-only math and coding benchmarks. If this model is half of what they say it is, it's going to send shockwaves through the AI community. One researcher noted that NVIDIA just published a 72B model that's on par with Llama 3.1 405B in math and coding evaluations, and also has vision capabilities. This could reshape the AI landscape, leveling the playing field for smaller organizations and independent researchers. It's certainly going to raise some real questions about what this does to the commercial AI marketplace. Equally, and maybe as much or more of an issue, is this going to raise some questions about the ethical implications of making this type of model available to everyone and the future of AI models. And if NVIDIA's announcement wasn't enough, Google drove hard into another area that OpenAI was working on: search. Starting today, Google is rolling out a new feature that lets you search the web by simply taking a video. If this sounds familiar, Google has launched a couple of similar offerings in the past months, only to have them flop miserably. One that did visual recognition turned out to be an edited version of the real demo video that made the model look much better than it was. And a second, more recent launch gave some responses that went viral because of their weirdness, like putting glue on pizza to keep the toppings from sliding off. But you can never count Google out. They are back with a new model that promises a lot. According to Google, you can point your smartphone at something intriguing, ask a question, and instantly receive answers. For example, if you're in an aquarium and you just wonder why a group of fish swims in unison, you film them, ask a question, and Google's AI will analyze the video and provide insights. Liz Reed, Google's head of search, said this feature aims to make asking questions about the world around us more effortless. This new capability allows people to ask questions about the world more easily. Industry analyst Paolo Pescatore believes that this is a significant move for Google. We are now seeing AI in everything, and people connect best with visuals, he notes. This latest development further demonstrates new ways of bringing content to life with something like search. But that's not all. Google is also enhancing shopping results with more reviews and pricing information, and introducing a new tool to identify songs directly from websites or streaming apps, challenging Apple's Shazam. We'll see and hear more about this in the coming days and weeks. And that's our show for today. Thanks to our sponsors, CDW and KJ Burke's CDW Canada Tech Talks. KJ will be my guest tomorrow on our weekend edition. And as my kids would say, seriously, dudes, give me some feedback on this. I'm desperately trying to prove our worth to the sponsors. If you like this, or if you've checked out Canada Tech Talks, send me a note. If you haven't, you just hate me making these noises about sponsors, send me a note anyway. Editorial at technewsday.ca, or you can find me on LinkedIn as The Real Jim Love. I'm your host, The Real Jim Love. Have a fantastic Friday.